Monday, everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. We're getting into the latest sports news for you as usual, so make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. Here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward. Chris?
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K.
What's up, everybody? Jackie Ray here. You can follow me everywhere at Jerry the Fanatic.
Hey y'all, happy Monday. It's your girl Britt Johnson. You guys can follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson.
So, Fumble fam, we have some sad news that we have to share with you today. This week actually marks Chris's last week on the channel. I know, we're all very upset about it. Chris has been such an integral part of the channel, of the live show. He's been so fun and amazing to work with, and we are so sad to see him go, but we wanted to let you guys know early on in the week so that you can all send your DMs or write in the chat and say your goodbyes to Chris. But Chris, I want to stop talking and let you say a few words if you have anything that you want to add to the news.
Speak.
I got no speech. I'm just saying, all it was I had a great time hosting with you guys. I think you guys made it as fun as it was. Had a lot of fun doing the live show. But being behind the scenes is what I like to do. That's all I got to say. I got no speech. I hate speeches. Back to the show. Don't worry about me. Everything's good. Back to the show. I don't want that attention. No, thank you.
Well, people are definitely upset in the chat, Chris. So, yeah. People are definitely.
I will say that I'm going to miss Chris's voices, all the different voices that we always would get from him. I'm going to miss having somebody to blame for all of the bad games. He's been our little target for all the jokes, and I'm going to miss that, Chris. You've been so great to work with.
Now it's
Jackie,
the worst time for him to go too. It's the worst time for him to go because he has been stomping me in these picks for the last 2 weeks. He was on this redemption road, about to get all the
redemption.
Now
I try to tell you guys.
You have to consistently be good, and you're scared of your own greatness here.
I'm telling you guys, this is all the 76ers' fault. All because I went all in on the 76ers. That's what started this whole thing. It's all the 76ers' fault. I'm so upset. God.
Chris, right when your luck is starting to change, that's when you choose to leave us. I don't understand it.
He does not want to be great.
Or he doesn't want to be like Tom Brady and start declining. He wants to go out at the top.
Going out on top.
Maybe that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it right there. Yep.
I can't blame you if that's the reasoning behind this, Chris. But regardless, you are going to be here for the rest of the week. We're going to have plenty of opportunities to make fun of you, to hear your voices, and for you to make have some curse.
Remember, we can't go too hard. We can't go too hard on making fun of him because he said if we go too hard one day, the next day he just ain't gonna come in.
I was gonna vanish. Yeah. Be like Thanos.
That's true.
We want to be really nice to him in case he gets a change of heart. We want him to be like, "Oh, they were so good to me. Maybe I'll come back." We got to be super nice this week. Super nice.
Yes. I think that's a good plan.
He's doing this for attention, guys. He's not leaving. He's just doing this for attention.
As you can tell, I absolutely love this attention. I'm enjoying this so much. I hate it.
All right, you guys. Well, I wanted to let you know that early on in the week and in the show so that you guys all had your chance to say goodbye, like I said earlier. But now let's talk about some sports news. Let's talk about the NBA. So when the NBA season ended, we didn't know when the next season would start up again. But now ESPN has reported that the league's board of governors are pursuing a pre-Christmas Day start. So that means the break would only be around 10 weeks, which is half the typical amount of time that players get off. And the reason behind this start date is because it would maximize revenues. According to Brian Windhorst, they still have to work out a deal with the players over the next few days, but it's probably going to be that late December restart for the NBA. And that's something that, anticipating just a few weeks ago. And there are a few other things that are being discussed, including a regular season with fewer than 82 games, not waiting for fans to be permitted in all league arenas, as well as tournaments and play-in scenarios. So we might be getting basketball back a lot sooner than we thought. Britt, what do you think about this shortened break and pre-Christmas Day start? Do you feel like it's a good move?
I don't know. I don't think so, just because we just in LA this last weekend got another surge of coronavirus positive tests. So after we had a decline for a long number of weeks or whatever. So, and obviously we've been talking about, okay, once flu season starts, it's going to be like this thing, it's going to happen again and all this kind of stuff. So I think it's a little,
I think, did she freeze? Because we're all moving.
I think
the NBA got her.
I think she's about to say something controversial. Oh no, they got her.
I think she said premature. Get me to NBA.
Yep.
Get me to.
Yep.
Okay, well, since we lost Britt, I'm gonna talk to you guys for now. That was so weird. Okay, Chris, what do you think is the biggest downside to this more aggressive plan to kick off the next season?
Well, I think Big Rona is probably one of the bigger things, because, like Britt was just about to say, I think, a lot of people were worried about how we're just as a country, we're going to go into anything with the flu season coming around and having them Rona and the flu working side by side. People worried about that, and playing basketball in the middle of that could be a little scary. But strictly basketball wise, I love it as a fan of a team that has not played since March. But if I'm putting my hand on it, like for you guys, Laker fans, that gotta suck, because the turnaround is absolutely ridiculous. Even the Heat, even though they didn't win, the turnaround for that is absolutely crazy. I'm happy about it because we're getting our Christmas Day basketball back. Hopefully, that's what I really wanted. But logistically, for the players and for all that stuff, it's gonna be crazy for this turnaround for especially the two teams like the Miami Heat and Los Angeles Lakers.
Definitely. Yeah. I would be excited for that Christmas Day, those Christmas Day games if we're able to get them. Britt, welcome back. You're here.
The NBA got you.
So I'm going to yeah, the NBA did get you. I'm going to let you pick right back up where you were, where we lost you. You were talking about coronavirus and the flu season in the wintertime. So just as a reminder where we lost you.
So I definitely think it's like premature for us to start back up. I think.
I read your lips.
What?
I read
Exactly
your lips. That's what I was like, I think she's going to say premature. All right. Sorry, continue. I'm just happy about that.
Yeah, I do. I think it's kind of very NFL of them to do this, honestly, because what is the plan? And even how you were talking about, maybe some teams will have fans and some won't, and yet all this kind of stuff. That sounds exactly what the NFL has been doing, and it's not been working best for them. Like, in no way have I heard the NBA talk about doing a bubble again. I don't think that's something that the players would agree to do, a bubble again, especially because now we're talking about a full season, and even if it's not 82 games, it's more of a full season plus playoffs on top of that. So, and they, like you said, only had 10 weeks with their family and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense to me with that, and with the fact that we're not even drafted until mid-November, and then you have such a short time to get these players like acclimated to their new, team, or figure out what we're doing. A free agency technically hasn't even started yet. Like, I just think it's too soon for the NBA to actually be effective in, making this, a great start to the season. We don't want to start the season and have issues already right off the back. Like, I would like to start a season where it's nice, comfortable. We know what's going on, whether it's fans in the stands or not, all that stuff is decided before we kind of go into it. I think that would be the best bet for the NBA, because they did the bubble so right. So why mess it up now?
That's such a good point. I feel the same way. I feel like this is such it's a quick turnaround to go from, 2 weeks ago, not even knowing when the season was going to start, to now it being pushed to December, which is basically like next month, because we're practically in November now. So we'll see what happens. Jackie, really quickly before we move on to the final news story, can you think of a better format or scenario for next season, or do you think that this is the plan that they should go through with?
I haven't given much thought into a different kind of format, but I will say, you know, my uncle used to always say, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And this makes a lot of dollars. The NBA would anticipate making $500 million if they start on time. And we don't even know, I haven't looked it up how much revenue they lost because of the break that they took.
It was like 624 million or something.
Million.
Okay, so if we're talking about $624 million that they lost because of the break and declined viewership and things of that nature, and then we understand that they're going to make 500 million more if they start either right before Christmas or at Christmas, then it makes sense financially, because this isn't, you know, this isn't a charity. This is a business. They're in it to make money. So it makes perfect financial sense. It's just now, how can they implement it so it makes sense for the teams and the players as well? But financially, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think that is obviously what it's coming down to is dollars and cents. Let's get into the NFL. So there were a lot of injuries that happened, including Odell Beckham Jr. He tore his ACL. It's a season-ending injury. Andy Dalton suffered a concussion. Washington safety Landon Collins had also a season-ending Achilles injury. Deebo Samuel's out. Jeff Wilson Jr. suffered a high ankle sprain and is being placed on injured reserve. I mean, it was rough. So I'm just going to go down the line. Which team do you think is going to suffer the most? Who took the biggest L? Chris, let's start with you.
Ooh, I want to say the Browns, but I honestly don't think that's such a good question with the newer injuries, because I just feel like the NFL right now is just taking a bunch of L's, because like you mentioned, this is piling on from the earlier crazy injuries that we were already having. So I don't know if I can really pinpoint who is taking a bigger L. Obviously, you want to say the Browns because Odell is one of the marquee wide receivers in the league. But I don't know if I can necessarily say that, because it looked like right after he went off, and I'm not saying it's Odell's fault, it seems like Baker just plays better when he has less talent. And it showed in that same game, because he looked awful up until the injury, and then he turned around and turned into, Oklahoma Oklahoma Baker Mayfield. So I don't know if I can I don't know if I can pinpoint which team has it worse. I just think it's just bad overall, because even though we had that little low where there weren't as many injuries, but it's just tough to see that we're seeing all these teams missing out on so many players. I mean, like the Saints, like Michael Thomas still hasn't even been back, and we have all these, Saquon Barkley and all these names. So I don't know if I can pinpoint who is going to have it worse. I just know it's bad overall, and it's continuing, which is not great.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And then Jackie, what about you? Who do you think took the biggest L?
I mean, I agree with Chris. That's a tough one. I can't say the Cowboys, because they looked terrible before that injury. I don't know. I want to say Cleveland, only because I'm such a huge Odell fan, and but that's still more of a individual thing. I think it's bad for him individually, because he's had such a hard time kind of fitting into that system as it is, and now we see him just now kind of getting into the groove of that, finally building some chemistry with Baker Mayfield. So for him individually, I think it's a really big deal. It's a huge L for him. I don't know if it's a huge L for the Browns. Like Chris said, I don't know. Baker seems to want to go the uphill road, so he seems to not want to, because even when Odell was in the game, Odell will be wide open sending up flares like I'm over here, and Baker just won't throw it his way. So I don't know if it's the huge L for Cleveland in that aspect, but if I had to pick a team, I would probably pick them, because it's such a loss for Odell specifically. Big name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Britt, I'd like to hear from you. Same question.
I think obviously the NFC West would have any injuries to their players would be the worst, because I think they're the most competitive division right now. I think every single team in that division has a winning record. So I think if Samuel's, depending on how severe it ends up being or whatever the case ends up being with his stuff, I think that would probably be the biggest hurt to the 49ers, just because that division is so competitive. I think the Browns, you can say Odell doesn't whatever, but they're 5-2 right now, so I think that could, negatively affect them moving forward. And just we saw the first time Andy Dalton in after Dak got hurt. Yeah, he finished the game pretty decent. But then when you have to play a whole entire game and then the rest of the season without somebody, that changes things a lot. I think that it could negatively affect the Browns. Really, I think this idea and what is happening right now honestly hurts the players as far as their argument is concerned, because players for years and years have said, let's get rid of preseason. Let's not have preseason. Let's have fewer preseason games, yada, yada. It is on the CBA for an option to reduce preseason to then have longer regular season games. And this just proves right now that because the players' argument was, I could work out by myself. I could do it on my own. I don't need preseason. Well, that's what they had the opportunity to do this year. And look what's happening. Like, these players do clearly need to condition with each other. We saw Odell more than anybody else working out a lot during the off season, but it wasn't enough. Like, coming together and being with your team and getting those reps in where you're getting to, like, actually get hit a little bit before we get into like full contact of football really does make a difference. And it's showing right here this season, because I've been a football fan my whole entire life. This is the most injuries, especially to star players, I have ever seen. And the only difference I can really think of is the fact that we did not have preseason like we had it before. We did not have that time for those players to like beat up on each other like they did in season. So I think that that's going to be a huge thing against the players, because now it's just proven we need preseason. They need to play in these preseason games and like have these hits and reps and longer training camps and stuff like that, because if not, we're going to see situations like this. So I think the biggest L here is the players' argument to have less preseason games moving forward.
I like that.
Yeah, I think it's clear that preseason would have been beneficial for the players this time around. Just, exactly, considering how many injuries we've seen. Well, on that note, you guys, let's wrap up Need to Know News. And Chris, take us into the post up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a packed-filled post up quarantine edition. We got a lot that happened over the weekend. A lot of these I'm sure you've seen. And the main one is on the thumbnail right now. And I have to talk about this because, look, there's been a lot of crazy plays. This one, for me, like it's in my top 5 of craziest play I've seen, not just in the NFL, just in sports, because the DK Metcalf, man. My God, this dude, people don't understand. DK Metcalf is built like a whole house, okay, and a backyard. Like he is a big dude, and for him to be moving as quick as he's moving is insane. But the biggest thing was that Budda Baker got this interception and had a head start, and DK was still able to get him before he got the touchdown. You guys have to know what play I'm talking about, but I'm going to show you guys one more time because it was that amazing. Here's DK hawking Budda Baker
with 6 different receivers, and this time he lost one and it's picked off at the goal line. That's Budda Baker. Budda Baker.
Look at him.
That is insane.
Honda forever.
And he does to save a touchdown. But what a play by Baker.
Like he had time to like aim before tackling. Like he got these. Like, all right, okay, here I come. Like that is insane to me. That's definitely one of the top plays I've ever seen in sport. Not even just football, in sports, because that is crazy. And we actually have like the NFL statistics on how fast he was going to have that tweet for you guys here in a little bit. But I got to read some other reactions before I even get to that, because a lot of people were going crazy about that play the same way that we are right here. Starting off with this one that said DK Metcalf equals NFL defensive player of the year. Love that. I'm sure the defensive players probably not so much, but I thought that was hilarious. This other one saying DK Metcalf when the other team thinks they have a pick 6, and it's LeBron James with the look. That's what we call that. That's the look right there. He definitely had that after that. But this is what I was talking about. Like, okay, the statistic on this is absolutely insane. Now, this Twitter account, Next Gen Stats, always drops these, because they pay attention to everything that's going on in the field. They gauge everything. So they had the statistics to what actually happened in that play. And they start off with saying DK Metcalf reached 22.64 miles per hour and traveled 114.8 yards to chase down Budda Baker on his 90-yard interception run. Baker's top speed was 21.27 miles per hour. Now, that's not slow. I just want to point that out. Like that, that's not slow.
Yeah.
And on top of that, this was the second fastest speed reached on a tackle this season. Just put your mind around that, man. Like that 20 something. Like he got to slow down if he's running in a neighborhood, because that's damn near you. That's almost illegal.
Over
You
the
gonna get
speed
tickets.
limit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's damn near speed limit in a neighborhood.
Yeah,
What you say?
he passed up his whole squad to tackle him too. Like the whole
Bruh.
squad. They're like, we got him. Oh, okay, maybe we don't got him. Here comes. It's crazy.
I'll try again.
It was like just this it was very Usain Bolt just striding.
Man,
like it didn't even look like he was like really like, I gotta try. No, he's just like, and he's, if you see him in real life, he's so big. So for a guy that big to be so like, he just floated through the air. Like I said it yesterday when I saw it happen. I was like, this man is from Wakanda. Like I don't care. He has a little.
I heard the music in the background while he was like, like he was going. Like that,
was
all I was waiting was to come on. Yeah.
No pick six today.
Oh my gosh, that play was crazy. But I have a few more tweets before we move on for this one, because this one I thought was funny. We talked about the Daniel Jones play last week. So this person tweeted out, I figured it out. Daniel Jones thought he was being chased by DK Metcalf. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. So he fell. He's like, I don't want to be tackled. And he realized that he wasn't playing against the Seahawks. He's like, oh, sorry, guys. My bad. I thought we were playing against DK Metcalf. But Budda Baker, after the game, he responded himself to what had happened, because you got to give the man respect after that. I don't care what happened. I don't care if it was an interception. The play was definitely that chase down. And Budda Baker even tweeted out saying, DK hawked my ass, #respect. Yes. He definitely did that. I don't know. That play is insane to me. Still, like, it was nice and everything. Still a little upset with you, DK. Not your fault. Not all your fault. But 3 fantasy points, my guy. But it's okay. That was a good play. It was a good play. We're gonna move on. I'm not salty about that. I'm not salty at all. But talking about somebody we were talking about earlier on in the show, we were talking about the Odell Beckham Jr. unfortunate injury, the ACL tear. But like I mentioned, right after that, I'm not saying this is Odell's fault. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying that right after that, Baker Mayfield, who was looking like a third string quarterback in that game against the Cincinnati Bengals, all of a sudden flipped the switch right after that injury happened, because Baker just went off and had himself a game. Now, mind you, yes, it is against the lowly Cincinnati Bengals. I get that. But for him and Joe Burrow to go back and forth the way they did, and for him to get that game-winning drive for them to ultimately win the game, a lot of people were hyped up about it. They're like, oh, Baker's back. Baker's doing this. We also had a lot of haters, because that's just what comes with being Baker Mayfield. But Baker doesn't give a damn about none of that, whether it's you're a hater or you're a fan of Baker Mayfield, because he was dancing on him after his touchdown. So check out this video of Baker being Baker. Watch this video.
Give me a little drip. Yeah.
The same dance move.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
The same dance. He does the same dance every single time. That's my beef with this.
Only one he knows.
That's the only one he knows. That's my only beef with this, is he does the same exact thing. He always dances himself out. It's the same every single time. That's my only beef with it. At the same time, I'm like, swag on him, go ahead, because I know you're getting a lot of hate, so go ahead and do what you got to do. But get a new dance move, my guy. Like, come on, man. What's this, year 3, year 2? Like, get a new move. It's the same move. Look, I almost pulled the other video just to show you side by side the exact same dance. But whatever, you do your thing. Like Britt mentioned earlier, they are 5-2 right now. They're playing solid football right now. I mean, Baker hasn't been great the entire season. He's had his moments, but this game was definitely a good turn for the better for him. But I do have a question, though. With all that being said, Jackie, I want to come to you, because we were talking about the fact that, Odell being hurt for the Browns it's bad because of who Odell is, but at the same time, they might still be okay because A, they have other weapons, and B, it seems like Baker likes to climb that uphill battle. But do you think that people are a little too brutal on Baker Mayfield, because people were killing him because even though he had that game, it was still against the Bengals, so people weren't really giving him the credit that he kind of deserved? Do you think people are being brutal on Baker Mayfield, or is it deserved?
I think it's deserved. I think it's deserved. Like there's literally a period at the end of that sentence. Like I got nothing else to say. But no, I think because he has failed in big ways, in big moments. And, like you said, I don't want to take anything away from the Bengals, because I obviously picked them to win this, and they look like they could have won it.
They should have.
They should have won it. But that's telling in itself as well. Like if you're Baker Mayfield, you've got all these weapons, prior to Odell going out, and it's always, no matter who you play, it's an uphill battle. So I think he hasn't proven himself to be who we think he is. I would implore him to stop making all them damn commercials and just stay in the workout. You know what I mean? But, I think he needs to hear some of that. And he needs to realize it doesn't make sense for you to have the talent that you have on your team and you just be fighting this uphill battle constantly. So I think it's warranted.
Yeah.
On the flip side, though, I would tell him he needs to kind of block out the noise, too, because we know how detrimental that can be when you let all that kind of influence you. But at the same time, he needs to let a little bit of it in there because it is warranted.
You got to hear it. Right. But my thing is, and I've always said it, I'm not a crazy Baker Mayfield fan, but I'm not a hater when it comes to Baker Mayfield. So I want him to be himself. So we know Baker to be that guy, the dancing dude that we just saw. But at the same time, bring it back a little bit. This one, I feel like it was warranted because, like I said, he had a lot of haters after that game. Let him dance on a little bit. Just like I said, do a new dance move, man. Like, you don't see Cam doing the same dance after every game, after every touchdown. Come on, man. That's my problem. That's my big beef with him.
Teach him how to Dougie.
Something. Anything else. He's doing the same dance every video. I'm sure you can make a compilation of the same
Dougie
dance.
was the first dance he did at Oklahoma. It was the Dougie.
That's how all of them starts.
That was his first one.
Well, can he do it? Okay. Do something.
And he always
TikTok. All he has to do is go on TikTok. There's tutorials every other. Just scroll through TikTok and pick a dance.
Find a dance. That's what all the other receivers are doing. Find a dance and do that one.
No, Jackie. To your point of him needing to focus on football, he does not need to do that. Okay. I don't need him worrying about no dances. I need him worrying about playbook. That's it. That's the only thing he needs to be looking at.
But learning a new dance might help his footwork. They do kind of go hand in hand.
Well, let me tell you something. At the end of every one of these damn dance videos, there's footwork involved because he's always walking off after the dance. So, miss me with that. But anyways, Baker Mayfield, go ahead, take that one. But we'll see how it goes next week when you guys are playing without Odell and see if it's a similar situation. But I'll tell you somebody who I was proud of. I don't say this often because you guys know me. I am a crazy hater when it comes to anybody else in the NFC South. Any football fan, when your division, you hate the teams out in your division. I don't care if their jerseys look sick. I don't care who they got. I don't care if my favorite player plays for a team on the other side. I've hated Cam Newton for so many years. While I liked him, the person, I hated him as a player because he played for the Panthers. This one was a little different. I gotta admit, I was weak this week. I was very weak this week because I got a soft spot for my man Teddy Bridgewater, and he showed out. He went out there and he made me a little bit worried because he was going out there going toe-to-toe against the dude that he was backing up last year in Drew Brees in the game that we had with the Panthers and the Saints. And I was watching it and I was upset, but I was just like, go ahead, Teddy, earn that money, dog. Go get that money, Teddy. Go get that money. But one of the most wholesome moments, one of my favorite moments of the game, if there's anybody else, I'm like, get off my bench, was definitely the moment where Teddy ran to the sidelines and he ended up sitting in his exact same spot that he was at last season when he was on the bench, over on the quarterback bench, and he ended up sitting down. And you can see Drew Brees had a fun little moment where he was showing him the play, even though there was nothing on the screen. But check out this moment from the game. I thought it was pretty funny.
And you told me about throwing the ball away and how important that is. You did exactly that. And Taysom Hill said,
all right, get up and go. All right, fun. Get up, go. Get out. Yeah, so I enjoyed it. It was there. It was a wholesome moment. I was like, oh, cool. He's in the sideline. Cool. We saw something similar with Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes because the same draft and blah, blah, blah. This is a cool little wholesome moment. But, all right, moment passed. Get up, get out. You're still on the Panthers. But at the same time, I got to admit, I had a little soft spot. Glad we won the game. It was a little bit closer than I expected. But, Teddy was out there doing his thing, earning his money. So, shout out to Teddy Bridgewater. I hope he loses the rest of the games of the season. And I'm moving off of that. So, from that one, I want to talk about a game that was important to me because we haven't mentioned it yet. Jackie kind of threw some jabs at what was going on, but if you guys didn't check out the Instagram, me and Jackie put up our predictions for this week for games and whatnot, and I was going 1-0 from last week, so I came this week and I was trying to keep the title, and I did. And one of the big games was this game that happened between the Titans and the Steelers because Jackie had gone for the Titans and I had picked the Steelers. Both teams were undefeated at the time, and even though from the beginning of the game it was looking like it was going to be a blowout, and I thought I had the game in the bag, the Titans proved the reason why they were 5-0 and they came back, but it all came down to a game-time field goal. And if you guys have been paying attention to the Titans, Stephen Gostkowski, who's normally one of the most clutch kickers in the league, he's not been having a great season. And, that continued. And, I'm going to show you Ben Roethlisberger's face to his missed kick because I'm sure it was exactly identical to Jackie Ray's face when she was watching it, too.
That's exactly what I did.
Everyone was celebrating.
I was so mad.
I can imagine. I could imagine. He's like,
First of
what?
all,
Everyone
I
else
was
is celebrating.
extremely confused because it says "Miss the Girlfriend" in the title.
Oh, it does.
I was like, Ben missed his girlfriend.
Like, the girlfriend, what are you
That's
talking about?
why they won.
Well,
Or I'm
that's
so confused.
Yeah. FG, not GF. FG. Fix it. Here it comes. Here it comes. Wait
there
for
it is. Yeah,
Bam.
yeah.
There it is.
I was reading, I read it like 17 times. I was like, what does this have to do with the game? What happened? Was she in the stands? What is happening?
When
That
did you get to
is
the girlfriend?
fantastic.
When did you get into the girlfriend part? Like, yeah, I remember the field goal. What's the girlfriend part? Like, what are you talking about?
It was so
Yes. But
Mondays,
yeah, no,
Mondays.
Mondays, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Happens to everybody. But yeah, no, thank you, Steve. Appreciate you helping me out on that one. Yeah. And now the Steelers are 6-0. Had a little bit of beef with Fancy for that one too, but we'll talk about that another time. But we do have some beef going on in Arizona. Now, we know Arizona, we know where they stand when it comes to elections and, parties and whatnot. I'm going to leave it at that. But this past Sunday, right before Arizona's game against the Seahawks, we had some Trump supporters doing a whole long miles wide. I don't remember exactly how long it was. Caravan in support for Donald Trump with everything that's been going on with the voting and whatnot. And DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver of the said Arizona Cardinals, so happened to come up on this caravan where it was reported that he was swerving throughout the caravan. For those who do not know, caravan is literally like a bunch of cars that are going in a row on the highway, all with their American flags and Trump flags and whatnot. Well, supposedly DeAndre Hopkins was going through there and he was swerving through that traffic, letting them know how he feels about who they're supporting and who they're there for. As you can see there, he's not giving peace signs right there, ladies and gentlemen. He is definitely giving them the forward middle finger. Never seen that, but he's definitely out there flipping everybody off. So this, of course, because Twitter is Twitter, led to all kinds of ignorant responses from the salty and bitter Trump supporters. And I'm going to be real with you. I could not be bothered with giving them any more attention. You guys get the deal. They're probably saying things like, oh, man, I was with my kids and you were flipping them off. What a real example. Or something along the lines like, oh, Larry Fitzgerald would never do this. But all kinds of stuff like that. So you guys get the gist of what they're trying to say. But the point of the matter is, regardless how you may feel about this, Devin, I'm coming to you. Do you think that DeAndre Hopkins was wrong for going about this the way he did? Or do you think there's just whatever, DeAndre Hopkins can feel how he wants to feel? How do you feel about this, Miss Seymour?
So, I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like people saying that he was driving recklessly and endangering the lives of people just because he flipped them off, to me, everybody's just overreacting. People react like that all the time when there's something when they're being confronted with something offensive. And I think that we can all establish that Trump supporters a lot of the time feel very offensive just knowing who Trump is. And if these people were so offended by having a middle finger shown to them when they were driving by, they should also be offended by a lot of the other things our president has said. So to me, this is a very minor thing to happen. And if they're going to be all focused on being polite and being kind, then they need to hold the president to the same standards, because I mean, that's all I'm going to say on that.
All right. No, Miss Seymour is going to say less. I get you. Britt Johnson, something that Devin had just mentioned. I'm curious if how you feel about it. We were talking about how it was reported that he was swerving in and out of the traffic and whatnot. But again, these reports were coming from the people in the caravan themselves who were upset with what he was doing. Do you believe that DeAndre Hopkins was recklessly doing that, flipping people off while driving through them, or you think he was just driving through, flipping them off, and they felt a way about it, and the Karens came out and said what they had to say? How do you feel? Do you think the report was real, or you think it was fabricated?
Chris.
Okay, I'm just curious. I don't know, because
they were hating on him because they tried to go in this caravan of probably not as nice cars as DeAndre Hopkins has. They felt some type of way that they couldn't be swerving and sliding through as well, and they're mad about it. And what Devin said, it is so funny that people try to hold other people to a certain standard that they can't even hold the president to. You're voting for a guy that's done a lot worse than what DeAndre Hopkins just did. but yet that's the guy that you want to be our president. So it's kind of funny that we are. I'm glad he said F Tump, like it says in our title.
Oh yeah.
We just can't get it together.
We're also distracted because we're sad Chris is leaving. Nobody can spell correctly today.
Sorry,
I'm actually okay with just saying Tump. I don't think he deserves the R.
Right
Tump was good.
Yeah.
Tump.
But you will Tump.
Dump the
Right.
Trump. Whatever.
More like Donald Dump. Anyways, moving on. We're gonna go on to this next one. We got detective hats. I need all everybody in the Fumble. The Fumble. Look at me. See, I'm on too.
The Fumble.
Everyone in the Fumble crew to get the detective hats out, because this is what we do. We have these post-up investigations. We have another one here because we have a touchdown that was reviewed. Or was it a touchdown? Like I said, put the hats on because I have a play for you guys that I want you guys to look at right here. And this is an intensely close call. And I want to hear, and I think this might split us up, or we might all agree, or we might all disagree. Who knows? But check out this play right here, and I need you guys to let me know whether this is a touchdown or not. Run that, Leo.
Does he have possession?
Oh my gosh. He's not down, is he? How about that?
No one knew.
Strength full spread. Is anything out of bounds? Wow.
That's a touchdown.
You think
That's
so?
a touchdown.
Okay,
You touched that pylon, that's a touchdown. That's a touchdown.
Okay, Britt spoke first. So, Britt, you have the floor. So, you think that this is a touchdown? So, you do think that he hit the pylon first before the ball hit the hit out of bounds?
Yep.
100%. And, Jackie, you're agreeing with that?
Yeah, no part of his body was out of bounds. No part of his body touched the ground. The ball hit the pylon. That is a touchdown.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Devin?
Oh, wait, I was muted. Yes.
Oh, gosh.
I agree.
You think it's a touchdown, too? I don't think so. I thought I was gonna have at least somebody with me. I don't think so. If we can get it one more time, and if we could pause it right before Leo, I need you to get your detective hat on too, Leo. If you can pause it right before the pylon, it looks like the ball hits the floor before it breaks the plane.
No.
Look.
No.
No.
You think you're
His hand
seeing
is
the
under
ball
the ball.
on the white. Thank you,
Yes.
Leo. Thank you, Leo.
And you see the green right there? His hand is under the ball. The ball has not touched the ground.
So the
'Cause
ball
you
is
wouldn't
not
be able
touching
to
the
see
white?
green underneath that.
So you don't think the ball's touching the white right now?
No, I don't think.
I mean,
touching.
when you zoom
So then
when you
the
zoom
Earth
in
is
like
doing
that,
the
it does
cute little
look
you thing. Y'all see?
right. Yeah, when you zoom in like that, it does look like it's a possibility that the football is touching the out of bounds marker. But like Britt said, I believe his hand is underneath the ball.
Okay.
But right there, the ball is down, and right there, it's touching the pylon.
I mean, it
So
wasn't
it's
down
just
before.
yeah.
I can't,
So, but Chris, because it's close, there's not enough to refute it. Because it's that
Of course,
close,
and
you
that's the
can't,
thing, and
you
that's
can't
why-
overturn it.
Right.
And overturn it.
And that's
Yeah.
very true. And that's the biggest thing right there is because if it's so close that you really can't tell, you got to keep it what it is. And I'm okay with that. I just feel like looking at it, I don't think they got there. But I don't know.
If you
Okay,
would have
so
saw
what
that
was
real
I get
time
that.
as a ref, you would have called
Real
that a
time,
touchdown.
yeah, I would call that 100%. 100%.
So
Yeah, real time
it's-
looking at that, touchdown.
It's a touchdown because you can't. It's also not able. You can't there's not undisputable evidence that it's not a touchdown. So it's just going to be a touchdown.
Well, the chat thinks it's third and inches. Nerd Soul thinks it's third and inches on that play.
Logan's with me. I see you, Logan. So I agree with Chris. Sorry.
G thinks you're a snack.
Threw me all the way off. I was not ready for that.
Snack, Chris.
Yeah, I see Nerd was saying that. Okay. Yeah, but Britt said it best because that's the truth. Like real time, you see it. They called a touchdown. They did. It's not enough for them to overturn it, and I think that's true. But I'm just saying, just from looking at it in the replay, I think it's not a touchdown. But hey, it was really a touchdown. So yeah, you guys won. You guys win. But yeah, I'll take my L because it's not. I can take an L every now and then. You know what I mean? Like, oh god. Anyways, moving. Oh my goodness. We moving on. Speaking of L's, let's talk about Eli Manning. Let's talk about Eli Manning. Now, I'm not saying Eli Manning is an L. I'm not saying Eli Manning.
That's not right.
That I'm not saying he's the L. I'm just saying
Leave
that
the
the
little
team he
brother
played
alone.
for. Right. But I'm just saying the team he played for took a lot of L's. That was no attack at Eli Manning. But yeah, Eli Manning is out here looking like he's preparing for a comeback because the Giants aren't playing too well right now. I can't entirely say it's Daniel Jones' fault, so I don't know what Eli Manning would be working out for. Again, this is just me trying to stir the pot. Obviously, he's not, because when I show you his workouts, you'll see that he's clearly not working out to get back on any kind of NFL field. It's just an adorable workout. So here's Eli Manning watching football and still trying to stay in shape. Go ahead, Eli. Yeah, push-ups. Yeah, we need some weight. There you go.
There you go.
He's so happy. He's not getting worried at the end. Yeah. So yeah, Eli staying in shape. I can't say that with a straight face. Staying in shape. I don't know what kind of shape Eli was in the first place, but yeah. Look, Eli, Giants need your help. I don't know if you want to be a wide receiver. The Giants need a lot of help with a lot of positions. So yeah, if you want to go back, I'm sure they'll give you a hey big head phone call in no time, anyways, because they would love some of your assistance. All right, now this next one, we got some more investigating to do because I'm team bullying, but I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say because Twitter went after Gordon Hayward's wifey, Robin Hayward, who posted a video of Gordon Hayward simply asking for a little bit of help, and her turning into the fact that he can never build anything without her help. Check out the video before we discuss.
Would you like to say something?
Yeah, I need your help, so...
You do need my help?
Yes, please. I need your help, bro.
Because you can't build things alone, can you?
I can. It just makes it easy.
It's rude.
I had a problem with this. Now, I understand, like guys and egos and whatnot, but to me, this looks like it's an innocent situation. The Gordon Hayward just like, hey, babe, can you help me hold that thing real quick? And she decided to pull out her phone and film him and turn it into a whole thing where he can't build nothing without her damn help. I don't know. But I'm not going to go as crazy as Twitter went. Twitter was saying that, there needs to be a divorce happening. Someone go save Gordon Hayward. They went complete left field. I was just like, whoa. She was wrong for it, but, like, we ain't got to attack the marriage. But am I being too soft for Gordon Hayward? Are you guys on Robin's side, or do you think Robin was wrong to pull up the phone? Let me start with you, Miss Seymour. Go ahead, Devin.
So I'm the type of person who relentlessly makes fun of and torments the people that I date. So for me, this is totally something I would do in good fun. It wouldn't be serious,
right.
But I've had boyfriends get mad at me because I go in too hard on them. I can be really pretty savage. So I think it's fine, but I'm sure that nobody would agree with me.
Okay.
Devin, are you single right now?
I'm a single gal. Not even ashamed. Somebody has to be able to deal with my playful behavior and not a lot of people are up for the task.
I'm here to help.
Damn. So that being said, you think that Robin was a little too rough on him with that one, a little left field with that one, attacking his building skills? Jackie?
Me? Yeah, I think that's, it's funny, but I definitely wouldn't have done it. It's rude, because y'all are prideful people, and I definitely wouldn't have posted that. But especially if you ordered something from IKEA. I don't know if you guys know, IKEA don't come with direction, it come with diagrams. That stuff is hard to put together sometimes.
But here's my thing. Normally, and the thing is, I would be all for, taking the joke and what Devin's saying. I'm with that. But, Gordon, this doesn't have that kind of like, Gordon's always like, I don't need no manual. I can do this myself. This is a simple case of Gordon being like, babe, can you just hold that thing right there? And she turned it to what it is. That's why I'm just like, yo, that's disrespectful. But Britt, by your reaction, I need to know how you feeling. Like, your reaction is looking like you signed with Robin over here.
No, I don't. So me with guys, when I date guys, I will never publicly disrespect them. I would never yell at my boo in public. But when we get home, I'm gonna say what I need to say. But in public, I'm just like, okay, that's okay, babe. Whatever you say.
So
and
I'm
not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna make you look bad in front of other people. But I will later when we get home. So in that situation, you not holding that, but I won't record it.
But you're not gonna hold the post from. You're gonna give him crap the same way, whether it's recorded or not. You're not gonna hold the post from.
Yeah, I'm helping. I know he needs my help. That's something we don't even have to say. This is a say less moment for me.
See, there it is.
I know.
All right. I love where you. I see what you turn that into. All
Not
right.
anything.
Okay.
I have to tell myself. Robin had to tell herself that her man needs her. She
That's
had to
exactly
make it
what that video
known
was.
that she is needed. But I already know my need and my worth in this relationship that I don't.
I like what
well.
I like what Robert Anderson in the chat said. And he goes, the petty disrespect. Next time there's a noise downstairs, make her go check it out on her own.
Or a spider in the bathroom or something like that. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Robert has really become the goat of the comment section.
I'll tell you, man. Robert coming, even though he comes after me a lot, Robert. Don't think I don't see him. Talking about, oh, he's bad look. I see you, Robert. I see you. Okay, but we're gonna move off of that, and we're gonna go to this really cool moment from LeBron James. LeBron James being LeBron James. There's no intro that I can give to this. Basically, he was at an event. He had these fans that were waiting outside for 8 hours, and look, LeBron probably didn't even know that. It doesn't matter. He decided to do what LeBron would normally do, and here's the video. There's no surprise to this one. I just love the way he cuts off his security guard. That's my favorite part.
Can you please sign? Can you dig? Come on, man. Can you please sign?
Oh, excuse me. That's okay.
Thank you, James. You're the best. Can you shout out to my son, Jalen?
Jalen, what's up? Jalen, what's up? I'm sorry I can't take my mask off.
You got no voice.
Congratulations.
And he takes off the mask. Sorry, I can't take my mask off. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna put my mask back on. Fine him. Get him, Roger Goodell.
No fine. No fine.
Yeah, there's more wholesome content from LeBron James. That's it. There's no more to say about that. No surprise there. Yeah, LeBron being LeBron. That didn't surprise me at all. It was a cool moment, really cool. And shout out to the family. Give him Jalen the shout and everything too. LeBron being LeBron. But you know who else is being themselves? Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant because he gone into it with comic. Oh my goodness, what's the boy's name? Anthony Isaac. Where he went back and forth with him in one of the most weakest back and forths I've ever seen in my entire life. Luckily, I don't have to give you all the tweets side by side because someone did it on Instagram. So here is the conversation that they had. And yes, like I said, this was weak as hell. It all started with Kevin Durant taking a little jab at Britt's Cowboys by saying football team greater than the Cow Space Boys. And then Anthony Isaac had to bring my Knicks into saying the Knicks greater than the Nets. Tell him, Anthony. And then Kevin Durant with the greatest comeback of all time. Any comedian greater than you. Oh, you got him, dude. I can feel the sarcasm from Anthony's response. Like, damn, you got me. Because you saw he put a period in it. Nobody puts a period at the end of any tweet. The sarcasm was just radiating from that. This is weak. This whole thing is just so whack. When I saw this yesterday, I'm just like, yo, this is the stupid. Kevin Durant, just stop responding. Like, just leave it alone. If I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna say less. I'm gonna say less. I have nothing else to say about that. And you know what side I have nothing to say about? This stupid tattoo, because in another episode of Stupid Tattoos on Post Up, check out this guy. We don't need the sound. Just check out. I have no intro for this guy. Look at this idiot. Okay, yeah. If you can read by the title, look at this. At first, I'm gonna be completely real with you. I thought this was Jimmy Butler at first because, like, the profile, I'm just like, whoa, wait, Jimmy shaved his head and got this is too far, Jimmy. Luckily, did some research, found out it's not Jimmy Butler. It's just a Miami fan with a bunch of tattoos.
Stop it.
So,
don't like it.
I wasn't ready for that. That is hilarious.
It is the worst. Somebody said, watch this man gain some weight and his head get a little bigger and then his head looking like a whole forest fire. I said, stop. Look, stop. Leave this man alone. Stop.
Oh, God.
And he literally looks like going onto his forehead because I can see where his hairline would have been.
Right.
And so, like, say his hair grows back, he's just going to have this, like, it would look like probably just like a nipple, like on his forehead.
Unless it's a receding hairline, like if his hairline is back here.
Look at his hairline. It looks like it's
I think it
looks like cover his whole hair. Like if he grew his hair out, it would only partly be covered.
Devin, that's what I've been thinking too.
It looks like what?
Yeah, it looks like Sharpie, or it looks like Sharpie. I don't think it's real.
It can't be real, right? Because the lines are too damn thick.
So thick, and then also the it's like so uneven, and it looks like a drawing. Like it doesn't look like it would be something that you'd pay for.
Yeah, see, that's why I was trying to investigate. So
bad tattoos, though.
we've shown bad tattoos on the post up. But no, Devin, I thought the exact same thing. I was like, no, there's no way that can be real. And I've been doing investigating in a little bit. He's up there posting it to the world. But he did have hair in his next post. So peculiar. I don't know. But I also could care less.
He has a birthmark too. It's terrible because it almost looks like, you know how squids, they spit out that ink, and where his birthmark is, it looks like the squid just kind of went because his birthmark is right there.
Oh,
there's nothing good about this tattoo.
There's nothing good about any tattoo I think we showed on this show. I don't think there's anything good about anyone. But
his girlfriend could drag him. And that would be okay. If his girlfriend drags him, that's okay.
That video, we here for that, for sure.
Yeah.
But next one we have, we got a very crazy, it was a little bit unexpected news after UFC 254 on Saturday, where we knew that Khabib was going into his first fight without his father, but he did confess to us, to the world, that he had made the promise to his father that this would be his last fight, and he wanted to fulfill that wish for his dad. But he said it himself here. So here's that video of Khabib getting through this speech, retiring the UFC game. Check it out.
I talked with my father, my mother, 3 days.
Gassed.
She don't want I go fight without father, but I promise her it's gonna be my last fight. And if I give my word, I have to follow this. It was my last fight here. I know only one thing, what I want from UFC Tuesday. You guys have to put me on #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, because I deserve this. And
tell them.
UFC undisputed UFC lightweight champion, 13-0. 13 in UFC, 29 in all my pro MMA career,
Crazy. Yeah, but that was unexpected. A lot of people everybody, I think the simple response, it was even trending, was just wow, because no one really had words for it, because they just, obviously they knew the news, and they knew he was going through something, but for him to go and completely retire, that was the unexpected part of the entire thing. But yeah, since we're low on time, I think I'm going to move to the next one. But yeah, crazy, absolutely crazy. And yeah, 29-0. I just want him to get that 30, but that's just me because OCD. I just want even numbers. But do what you gotta do. I understand. Fulfill your your promise. I get you. Now, last but not least, this one's gross. I apologize. I have to show you guys this. But look, man, I don't know if the pressure got to him. I don't know if he just wasn't feeling well. But look, this kid, the quarterback of the Cincinnati, I'm just gonna show you the play. All I'm gonna say is he took the time to throw up and let it all out and continue playing mid-game because they were up by 18 points. I don't know. I honestly have no idea why he threw up. I don't know if he just wasn't feeling well, but here's the video. You can't really see it, but check out this dude. Look at this. All right, guys, let's play.
This is how you
like the dude. He just randomly bent down, threw it up. Like I thought, he looked like it's gross. It's disgusting.
Okay, Luckily, Fox.
But luckily, I just want to say thank you, Fox, thank you, ESPN, for the thing, because we couldn't see nothing because he threw right into the thing, so we didn't see nothing. But yeah, I was trying to investigate this one. They're up by 18. I thought he was the SMU quarterback and he was just feeling the pressure, but no, they up by 18 end of the third quarter. I don't know if he just was sick, wasn't feeling well. I don't know what the case may be, but yeah, my man just threw up and went on to hike the ball for an incomplete pass. But hey, whatever. He kept on playing. He kept on keeping on, and that is the moral of today's post up. Just, ladies and gentlemen, in the rough week and rough times, maybe Monday, but keep on keeping on like this guy right here.
That's the taste that's in your mouth after you throw up, and you just gonna keep playing. That's
no
gum, nothing.
He walked right over it. That's not even the worst part. This man, all right, said hut. Like he walked right, like it's gross, man. There's people getting tackled and stuff, like nasty. But that's football. That's football. But, that's it for me on post up, ladies and gentlemen.
It gives me chills. Right. Don't like that. Okay, Jackie, we are running low on time, so tell us what we not gonna do.
All right, guys, let me get through this one really quickly. So you guys know we've talked about this a lot. The NFL has a problem with coronavirus. People are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. No big news there. The beginning of October, I think it was around October 5th, Roger Goodell sent a memo to all 32 teams. In that memo, he said, protocol violations that result in virus spread requiring adjustments to the schedule or otherwise impacting other teams will result in additional financial and competitive discipline, including the adjustment or loss of draft choices, even forfeiting a game. So I said that off top that should be, a thing. Now, that memo was sent when the outbreak by the Titans resulted in rescheduling their Week 4 game against Pittsburgh Steelers, and then that, of course, forcing the Steelers to reschedule the game against the Ravens. And then, of course, Cam Newton got it. Kansas City Chiefs had a guy on the practice squad get it. The Patriots got it. Just everybody got it. So the NFL now probably has to make an example of the Las Vegas Raiders. I hate saying that because now they're just out here being repeat offenders. So basically the NFL is thinking about issuing tougher fines on them because of that. Because Monday, Trent Brown's positive COVID test on Monday required not only Brown, but 5 other teammates to quarantine as well, because they were at some charity event with him, just out chilling, hanging out. Nobody was wearing a mask. And Brown also was in violation of the rule that requires players to wear a tracking device that enables them to track what you're doing and if do contact tracing. So the Raiders don't give a damn, and we know that because Gruden has already been fined $250,000 for not wearing a mask. He kept on doing that even after the fine. The team was penalized. I think something like 10 players were penalized $200,000 for not wearing masks at Darren Warren's charity event. So as a whole, the team just does not care because they've already received $1 million in fines. So now the NFL is going to come down on them harder. They're going to potentially lose draft picks. So what we're not going to do, though, is pretend that losing money or even potentially losing draft picks is going to be what stops the Raiders, because I think being fined almost $1 million would be kind of a thing. I do think forfeiture of games would be good. I think that what they should do is not forfeit their next game, which I think is against the Browns, if I'm not mistaken. But they're 3-3 right now, and they're second in the AFC. So I'm just voting that they make them forfeit their November 8th game against the Chargers, because depending on what happens with the Chargers next week, then that would automatically put the Chargers ahead of them. And maybe if they start losing some, I don't know, seating position, maybe that will do, because I don't think anything else, draft picks down the line, money is not going to make the Raiders really get it together. I don't have any questions on this one just because we are running low on time, but let me know what you guys think in the chat. If the Raiders just don't give a damn, if they just are cool to pretend that the Rona ain't a thing anymore. But that's all I have for what we not gonna do. Somebody go get the Raiders because they need some help. But right now it is time for Britt's takes.
Britt's takes.
Oh, last Monday, Chris was going to be saying that. But today I am talking about my team, the Dallas Cowboys. So obviously, if you guys watch the Weekend Zone, I was very big on the fact that we do need to win because we need to make sure we stay number 1 in our division. Now we are like tied for second/last place with everybody else in our division pretty much. And the Eagles are number 1. But I'm not watching football the rest of the season, just put it out there. After Dak got hurt, I haven't watched football, but I'm not watching it. But I did hear about, obviously, Andy Dalton, who suffered a concussion from a dirty hit during the game yesterday. John Bosick hit him, dirty hit, terrible. I don't know if you guys watched it, but he was clearly sliding already, and you're not supposed to touch him, and he went in and hit him anyway. Everybody kind of talked about it. It was dirty. It was a cheap hit, and on top of that, it was also illegal, which is why he got ejected from the game after that. But the interesting thing that I want to talk about is what Mike McCarthy was actually asked after the game, which is, why did the offense not get in Bosick's face after the hit? And he had this to say. He basically said, we speak all the time about playing for one another, protecting one another. It definitely was not the response you would expect, which kind of is very crazy, because I've seen in football, like one of my guy friends that I grew up with was a returner in the NFL, and I remember there was a dirty hit. It was Cortland Finnegan. I'll never forget him, one of the dirtiest players in the league. Hit my friend, knocked him out cold after he had already done a fair catch, and the whole went onto the field and started to try to fight him. Like, that's just what you do. You protect your own, especially in dirty hits like that. So for Andy Dalton to get hit like that and then nobody even come in the face of John or anything like that was kind of crazy, but then totally understandable, because I started looking at it like this. We're looking at Dak Prescott and what happened to him this season and why it went down the way it did and why everybody was like, going crazy over it because of the contract stuff and because of his brother and all of this kind of stuff. It was just this huge thing and everybody kind of rallied behind Dak. I do feel like, obviously, Andy Dalton is new to this team. I feel like he probably never thought he was going to play a down of football this season, obviously, because Dak Prescott is not only the starter, but he's a younger player and stuff like that. So nobody expected he would get hurt, especially because the Cowboys have been known for having one of the best offensive lines in the league. We had, I always say about our offense last year, it was the number 1 ranked offense in the league last year. So Andy Dalton just thought he wasn't going to play. And I think with that, he thought he didn't really need to get to know any of his teammates. And I think that was the issue in this moment. I think that they don't feel close to him, which is why I actually think we're struggling even more, because really, if you look at our offensive line, we have had some injuries. Defense, we've had a ton of injuries on defense, but our offensive line had a little bit of injuries. This week, really, it was just Zach Martin that was out of our offensive lineup because of a concussion. But really, Andy Dalton has been playing pretty much with the same offensive line that Dak Prescott was playing with. And actually, Dak Prescott had a lesser of an offensive line the week that he got hurt because there were a couple of our guys out. But this week, it was really only Zach Martin that was out. But I don't think Andy Dalton has gained the respect. I don't think he acts as a leader. And one of my favorite movies of all time, Remember the Titans, always there's a quote in the movie that says attitude reflects leadership. And I think that was what we saw in this moment with Andy Dalton not getting any backup from his teammates because he hasn't done anything for his teammates. And you can see it in the line itself. Nobody feels like protecting Andy Dalton because they don't know Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton probably hasn't tried to get to know his teammates, and he hasn't proven anything on the football field. We're in a situation now with Andy Dalton having a concussion that the Dallas Cowboys are going to be going to our third string quarterback. Had to Google the guy, didn't even know who he was. He was drafted this season. And I'm taken back to the moment of Dak Prescott becoming our quarterback, because he was our third string quarterback at the time when Tony Romo got hurt. And I think it was Keelan Moore that was the backup. And then it was Dak Prescott. But then Dak ended up getting that position. And because Dak, the person he is, which we saw when Dak got hurt, everybody across the league talking about what a great guy and a great teammate he was, he actually made that line and those people on that roster believe in him so they would want to fight for him. So I don't think it's a matter of, oh, well, he's just not Dak, so we're not doing it. I think he just hasn't gained the respect from the players. And I hope this third string guy does something. And because we're not, like I said, we're not far away from still being in first place. For one game, we're technically only half a game back from being in first place in our division. It is still, we could still win the division. Yeah, we're probably not going to win the Super Bowl, but look what Dak did being a third string quarterback coming in. We thought our season was completely over because Tony Romo was gone and was injured. And then we had to revert to our third string quarterback, who was a 4th round draft pick out of Mississippi State. And we were like, this guy's who is this guy? We had to Google him. We're in the same situation right now. So I really don't think that this is an issue, because for a second I was like, is this an issue of like this team just not caring or not whatever? No, it's a issue of bad leadership. And I don't think Andy Dalton is that leader, which is why he was not successful with the Bengals. As a starting quarterback, he never was able to actually be a leader for that franchise. And then to come to Dallas as a backup, now that he's having the opportunity where he should have been able to use all his 9 years of experience as a starting quarterback to come and actually become a leader for the Dallas Cowboys, and he hasn't been able to do that. So I'm not too worried about the actual team of the Cowboys as much as I am about either trading. They've already been talking about doing trade rumors to get rid of Andy Dalton because he just doesn't fit there. And yes, we thought we never would have needed to use him, but we had to. This week, it is only a concussion. in our next game, we will most likely have to play with this young guy. Hopefully he can step up and just end up being our backup quarterback after Dak moving forward. But we need to get somebody else in there because, like I said earlier, everybody across the league has been dropping like flies. Luckily, our offense is we still have, Zeke, who's actually been playing terrible, but Amari Cooper, like all these guys are still on the roster and they're still doing what they need to do for the offense. And really it's coming down to the quarterback. And honestly, this is good for Dak because it shows what Dak really was able to do with the offensive line. I think offensive lines are as good as the quarterback they have behind them because those are the ones that are like, it makes the difference. And we see this right now in this moment because our line just randomly got so much more terrible when Andy Dalton stepped in. It is a leadership issue. It is not the Dallas Cowboys line that's the issue. It's the leadership that they're getting from behind that line, and that's Andy Dalton. But yeah, I am obviously probably not going to watch any more football games this season, but I hope that our Cowboys get it together enough. But if they don't, I am taken back to 1989, our worst Cowboys season ever. The Cowboys went 1-15 that season. I wasn't old enough to know what anything was that year. So I never watched the football team that year, but people are saying that this team is considered worse than that 1989 1-15 team. But when the Cowboys were 1-15 in 1989, just a couple years later, we went on to win 3 Super Bowls in a span of 4 years. So maybe this is a good thing for my Cowboys. That's all I have to say for Britt's take today. But obviously, as a Cowboys fan, I got to stay optimistic and look at that 1-15 season from '89, and then look at those 3 Super Bowls we won after, and just pray that this goes in the same direction as that. But yeah, that's it for Britt's take. I wish I couldn't have questions, but we're over on time.
All right, you guys. Well, let's wrap up the show for the day. We will be back again at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard tomorrow. So you tune in, tap the bell for notifications so you know right when we're going live. Subscribe, leave a comment below. Tell us your very favorite Chris memory in the comments or in the chat. Since this is the last week, Chris, it's gonna happen. We're gonna be sentimental. It's a panel of women. We like to remember the good times. So everybody let us know your favorite memories, and we will see you all tomorrow. Bye, you guys.
Although we've come to the end of the road, still